Hi folks, hello Leute, and welcome back to another in Unthinking Aloud with me, Claire Driver. And something happened today that I thought I would share with you because there is a timely lesson therein. Today was my first day back at work after a fairly lengthy break. I've been off for a month, and that was ill, not away on a jaunt. And not an ideal time to be ill in a gastronomy business and also a chocolate shop over Christmas and New Year, because that's really, really busy for us. But what can you do when you're ill? You're ill. And it is very true that I've yet to learn to listen to my body and think, okay, I need to slow down. Even though people tell me, you're not looking so great, Claire, I think maybe you need to have a break. But I find that really difficult, and I tend to just work and work and work and then hit a wall, which is what happened. I won't go into the details of that. Suffice it to say that I had a lovely week in the hospital. If you're going to get ill, do it in Murnau, because the view from the rooms that I was in, which is like the isolation room, has got this amazing view over the Alps. It's like being in a 5-star hotel. It's really stunning. And the health system is very good here, but I'll talk about that in another video. But the point of the learning today and the reminder that I had today was that I went back into work, and I look after one of the smallest cafes, a small filiale in the hills. There's just a team of 2 of us, and the main cafe is some 30 kilometers away in Murnau, only 10 minutes from here. So, and that's where our main bakery is, the Backstube. And that means that every morning I toddle off from here and load up with lots of beautiful fresh cakes and strudel and kuchen and everything that we need for the cafe in Oberammergau. And then in the evenings, after we close up there, I come back with the all-important takings and empty cake things and kind of tidy up again. So every day I'm in our cafe here in Murnau twice and see all the team there, obviously different people a lot of the time, but there are members of staff like me that are full-time, so I see pretty much daily, 5 days a week. So I walked in this morning to the main cafe and said, hi everyone. Happy New Year! I know it's a bit late, but Happy New Year. It's nice to see you all. I'm back again. And there was a kind of momentary pause and a nonplussed silence. And then someone said, oh, were you away? I was like, yeah, I've been away for a month. I was ill for a month and I was in hospital. And they're like, oh my God, are you all right? Anyway, regaled them with a couple of tales, and then that was it, and on I went with my day. But the lesson in this is no one really cares. No one's really interested in you. And that could sound like quite a harsh thing. You could take that one way, which says, oh, no one cares about me, no one is interested. But actually, when I realised that many years ago, it was a huge relief to me. It was like a massive epiphany. A huge amount of my stress and anxiety and fear and worry has always been around what other people think. And if I make a mistake or even think I might make a mistake or might have made a mistake or said too much or said something weird or done anything not acceptable, I would absolutely crucify myself and tie myself in knots over it and think everyone's going to be talking about me, and what if they think this, and I feel so guilty and I'm worried that they're thinking this. And my entire life was filled with this fear of what other people thought of me. And the reality of it is everybody is so caught up in their own stuff that they have no space left for you, absolutely no space left for you. And that means that all of this fear and anxiety and stress and what have you is completely wasted, because yes, there might be the odd time when people get pissed off with you and have a passing thought and think, well, that was a bit stupid what Claire did, certainly in the past, or they might even worry about you. But it's very, very short-lived, trust me, because everyone has got their own shit going on. Everyone's lives are full of difficulties and challenges and frustrations and happy moments and everything. And we are all absolutely, we place ourselves at the centre of all of that. And constantly we are, as much as my head was taken up with all of my stuff and worrying about everyone else's head is also taken up with their own stuff. They haven't got any room for you. They really couldn't care less. They've got enough of their own fears and anxieties and paranoias going on. And everybody, be it low level or more extreme, as it was in my case, certainly when I was younger, to the point where it was like crippling and massive social anxiety and stopped me from doing things in my life, basically. Stopped me from taking risks, and I mean calculated risks, and risks on myself, on doing something, as opposed to the kind of dumb, lack of control, impulse-driven risks that my life was full of. It made my world a lot smaller, because I was always convinced that everyone was thinking about me. Nobody is. And that is such a huge relief. So all of that stuff that you go home from work and you worry what everyone's thinking about, every little thing that you've said, especially if you have ADHD, that is a major factor, is that whether it's criticism or perceived criticism, or even the prospect of perceived criticism. So fatal words to say to someone with ADHD is, can we have a quick word? Worse still is, can we have a quick word tomorrow? Because that gives me 12 hours overnight to worry about it and fill my head with every worst case scenario about what it might be. And completely convince myself that it's basically them going to either tell me you're fired, you're rubbish, you're not good enough, all of these things. All of that is a complete waste of time, because everyone else has their own stuff going on, and they are thinking largely the same. They're dealing with their own demons, their own challenges. And that's really liberating to think about that. So I think it less now, or rather, correction. My head still tells me that, but I believe it less. And I am able to, through breathing, through my understanding of the difference between the stuff that goes on outside in the world and the stuff that goes on inside of me, and the fact that I don't rely on what happens in the world or how other people perceive me for my kind of core sense of self. My head still tells me, can frequently tell me, and did before this morning, tell me that, I'm going to go into work and get grief, and people are going to be pissed off with me and annoyed that I had the audacity to be ill, And even if that were true, because of course when someone goes off ill, especially if they are a full-time member of staff and have a lot of responsibility like I do there, it makes things difficult. So even if people have had a fleeting moment, oh, bloody hell, I wish she wasn't ill kind of thing, it is literally fleeting and it's gone. And then the next thing comes in and they're worrying about that. So please try not to waste your lives thinking that everyone else is watching every move that you make and analysing it and finding you wanting and thinking that you come up short. It really couldn't be further from the truth. Could not be further from the truth. And all you need to do is think about someone. If you want to test this, if you don't believe what I'm saying, just test it. Think about somebody else in your life. And I don't mean, like a partner or someone that's really, really close to you that naturally thinks about you all the time and considers you and might worry if you not well or a bit offbeat. I'm talking about the people that you either have a passing acquaintance with, it might be work colleagues, or it might be people that you've never bloody met before, just strangers. It's amazing how much time I wasted worrying about what bloody strangers thought of me. Or people that I was never going to spend any time with, or people that I work with that I, never see outside of work. It's insane. Just think of someone in that situation, and something that they've done that was, maybe they were late to work, maybe they missed a day, maybe they made a mistake at work, maybe they said something to you that, they shouldn't have, or any of those things. Just think for a moment about, you don't hold on to that. You don't, okay, you might think, that person's a wally or whatever, but the reality of it is, day in, day out, 90% of your headspace goes on all of that diatribe in our heads, that thought stream that talks about me, everything that, what's happened to me, how does that affect me, all of the things that I identify in my life, as I identify with in my life, be that friends, family, at work, any of those things. We just don't have space to be wasting it thinking about other people, honestly, and what they may or may not have done beyond, even if, try not to get involved too much in gossip, but, even that someone says something to you, well, you never guess what so-and-so's done, and a bit of gossip, and they did this, and they said so-and-so, and they got off with this one, and blah, blah, blah. It's 30 seconds of, bit of drama, and then it's gone. Completely out of your head. Couldn't care less. Doesn't affect your life. As long as it doesn't have an impact on you, couldn't care less. We really are not the centre of everybody's universe. So, try and let that go. Next time you find yourself standing the wrong side of a door, worrying about going through because you think you can project what everyone is going to think about you or say about you, just remember that. They've got their own stuff going on. You're really not that important, Of course you are. So important, and you are enough. And that's not the same as saying, that's not what I'm trying to say, So just don't waste your life not doing things, being scared, getting anxious, when there really is no need. Really isn't. Nobody could care less. Like, an hour after I got into work, it was like I'd never been away. Job done. Okay. Hope that helps some of you. Bye.